Hey, good morning, everybody. I got a request for an update on this, and I've been meaning to do one. So, this is the Gargoyle Gecko Vivarium I made, and it's actually been doing really well. I continually have to cut this back like every 3 months or so, especially the pothos here. I'm actually considered ripping it out because it's really aggressive. I mean, it makes it nice, but it's like constantly trying to like take over the entire top floor. So I was thinking about maybe planting something a little gentler, like the philodendron. Maybe I can find a leaf back here. You can sort of see it there. This one is definitely less aggressive, and it also doesn't like getting too far up into the UV light put off here on the shelf. But you can see that a few of the plants have unfortunately died off over time as things sort of compete. So I lost the fern here in the corner. I was kind of hoping it might resprout, but I think it's officially dead at this point. And the other thing I regret losing is the Dischidia, which is the Million Tears variety I had. You can see it was sort of in back in some moss. And unfortunately, I think I just let that moss dry out a bit too frequently. I'm thinking about buying more of that actually and sort of planting it closer to the ground floor where it won't constantly be drying out. But yeah, this is the fernleaf begonia, I believe, and this is very happy. As you can see, it flowers all the time, and this too is like constantly trying to take over. I actually just chopped this back at the beginning of the growing season in the spring, a couple months ago, and it's already like completely filled out again, and it's even putting up some brand new shoots here. I don't know if I can find you some of that cleanup crew. The orange isopods are definitely the dominant cleaners in here over time. I don't know if I can find you some that don't scurry away. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So this place is chock full of them. Hey guys. They actually will try to escape the vivarium. I found it too that have managed to get out the cracks because, you know, these aren't actually airtight. And this here is the Hoya. And it's actually planted in a little wall planter like way back here. And it's just totally spread out. You know, I've kind of twined it around the perches to try to give it places to go. I have not seen this flower yet. They do put off flowers rarely. So I keep hoping. The other thing, we don't have any moss. It's either I let it dry out too often or it just doesn't get enough sun with all the other plants sort of taking this over. But yeah, so I mean, in general, this is really nice for the gecko. You know, she's got plenty of cover. Her favorite spot to sleep is inside this little log, which I don't think you're going to be able to see her with this camera. Yeah, no. You can kind of see her eyes, maybe. Trying to get the right angle here. Oh, survey said, yeah, there, you can kind of see her little face up in the corner. Those little two white spots are her eyes reflecting the light. So that's her favorite little sleepy spot. And then at night, she loves to come on this back shelf. This is the UV light shining there on the shelf. Very small, compact fluorescent bulb. And there's actually a ceramic heat emitter here. So this is nice and toasty. So she loves to come there to warm up. And sometimes you'll see her sort of pretending she's a stick, which is hilarious because she doesn't camouflage at all. But I have a few pictures of that, but she's not doing it today, obviously. And that's it. So It's kind of hard to keep a very varied community of plants. I think I would have had to manage this a lot more closely than I did and sort of be more aggressively pruning back things that were out competing other things. But it's also sort of nice to get things that do well with little maintenance too, because then you don't have to constantly be doing maintenance. So it's kind of a balancing act, you know. I generally just sort of plant a bunch of things and see what does best in the conditions the gecko likes. But obviously you can see this is pretty cool. Next door is the crested gecko, so I'll do a quick shot even though this is technically an update on the other vivarium. But you can see this also has a pothos, and it is ginormous. And it also likes to take everything over. There's also these Sansevieria, which are snake plants. And I'm constantly sort of chopping them because they're really too large a plant for this type of enclosure. But the gecko really loves them. Like, one of her favorite things to do is sort of lie flat on these leaves. So I still have them in here. And honestly, I haven't been able to find anything yet that'll survive in here as far as this side. So I need to think a little bit about what to try to buy this year to get something to fill out. But in the back here, I have a different Hoya variety. Whoops, I better trim this pothos again soon so it doesn't kill it. But there, you can see it's sort of a smaller leafed variety. And it actually is doing pretty well there. Gecko clothes. We'll put those down. I was gonna see if I could actually find the gecko. Huh. Where are you hiding, my love? Oh, there she is. As I was talking about hiding under these leaves. Sorry, gecko. There she is. There's her little butt. Oh, Potho's trying to take over the world. And this air plant is doing magnificently. I mean, it's huge. This one actually put off a baby, but the baby shooter got too dry because I don't think I had the misters appropriately hitting it. So that's my bad. I like things that are kind of easy maintenance though. All right, and in these, it's actually weird. I never put orange isopods in here, but the dominant ones are sort of the gray smooth isopods. Let me see if I can. Oh my gosh. You guys are gonna prove me wrong today, huh? Oh. There, you can kind of see a few. Haha. So I don't think I'm going to add orange in here because the orange ones are so aggressive. I'm worried they're going to outcompete these guys. So I'm just going to leave the grays in here. They do their job. Yeah, so we sort of get our two different styles here going. These are really easy to maintain. Honestly, all I do is, you know, like I said, I trim and prune stuff back if it's sort of taking over all the open space, because it's nice for the geckos to actually have some space to sun themselves if they want to. And I add, let me think, leaf litter a couple times a year to make sure to keep a nice carpet on the floor. The isopods do eat it over time, so it needs to be replaced. And I also do periodic, you know, the misters are on every night at different schedules. The terrarium itself is watered, and I'll often put some half strength or less organic, you know, sort of general purpose plant fertilizer in there to give the plants a little growth power, especially, you know, this time of year when here the growing season is starting, you know, for seasonally what'll be spring and summer here. But that's it really. It's really easy to maintain. So I hope you guys like the update. And thank you for checking out my enclosures, and I hope you have lots of fun with your own.